Hi, everybody. It's Kanesha from Bold Living Today, and Happy New Year. I'm excited to be back for the first episode of Wednesday Club of 2020, and this is episode 17. And welcome back if you've been tuning in to the previous Wednesday Clubs, and welcome if you are new to the Bold Living Today community or if you're new to Wednesday Club. So what Wednesday Club is a chance for the Bold Living Today community to come together to talk about things that are focused on creativity, productivity, or any other types of brainstorming things that are typically for small businesses, for parents, for women in transition, and for creatives. So hey, everybody, thanks for joining in. And the club part of Wednesday Club stands for the C is creativity, the L is learning from and successfully navigating life transitions. The U is for untangling from things and thoughts that keep us small. And the B is for building and amplifying our boldness. So I try to come together every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Today we're at 12:45 Pacific time because I had a client this morning, and my bold clients want to get things done in January and get their lives together. So, I have to balance my time that way, but I'm super excited to be able to do this every week. So I had a great vacation. I had a great time off. My daughter is home visiting from college in New York, so it's fun to catch up with her and enjoy her. And we still have relatives visiting, and my youngest is back at school. So this was my reentry back into my regular work week. So yeah, lots going on. I could use a nap. And so I have a little vacation hangover in the sense of I enjoyed the easy schedule and not having the strictness of getting things done. I could just relax a little bit. So easing into the week, not trying to do everything this week, but definitely wanted to be here for Wednesday Club. So for today's episode, I wanted to talk about how people can find time for their goals. Like, this is such a goal setting month or a goal mapping month, and people really enter the new year really thinking about, new year, new me, or I want to carry forward some things from the previous year and really amplify them or get them actually done this time. And it's just such a great space, I feel like, to allow January to be kind of this rough draft month where you are brainstorming, thinking about things, kind of getting some clarity, decluttering, and really creating some space to have some openness, some curiosity, and some newness. So I am so excited. This month on January 12th and January 15th, I have two vision board events. I usually have one each year, but this year I have two, and they're all focused on creativity and also, in my case, partnering with other business women. So I have an event on January 15th at a craft studio in San Jose. It's called Craftful Studio, and it's owned by a woman. And I'm doing a vision board workshop, but it's around creativity in making an explosion box or a cascading box. So that's super exciting. So you can look in the video notes and check that out. And then also on Wednesday, January 15th, I am doing vision board workshop at one of my favorite spas, Bliss Beauty Center in Los Altos. And we are doing goal mapping plus beauty plus wellness. So we'll be doing vision boards and goal mapping. We'll be getting facials. Yes, we will. And we'll also have a health and wellness coach there helping us figure out some ways we can upgrade our health and wellness. So I really like to have these integrated approaches to people doing their goal mapping, to do their vision boards, so that they can have this experience with me and then also take that momentum into actually planning, executing, mapping, and getting these goals done on their own terms without falling into a comparison trap. So today, I really want to talk about how we can fit our goal setting or how we can fit our goal mapping and our execution into our already full schedules. Like, we enter the year with the best intentions. We really want some clarity around getting these things done. But where will we find the time? Where will we fit the time in? And how will that work for us? So I always get these questions around, I love what you're saying, Kanesha. I've been following your post on social media, And I have been really looking at some of the productivity things, but how am I going to fit that into my already busy schedule? So I have 4 tips for you today, and then I'll talk a little bit at the end about some questions that had come. I usually start with the questions, but it's a new year. Sometimes I change up the format. But I'll talk about the 4 strategies, and then I will talk about the questions because I think they really serve as a nice anchor to what I'm talking about today. So if you have a journal or you're taking notes, this is a great time to grab that so you can take some notes. And as I always say, these videos are available always on Facebook at Kanesha Baynard Coaching, and then also on my YouTube channel. And then if you're tuning in on Instagram, the video is available for 24 hours, but you can always go to Facebook or my YouTube channel if you missed the live broadcast. All right, so here are some initial and realistic ways to carve out time in your busy schedule so that you can focus on what's the most important thing to you in regards to your goals, your resolutions, your upgrades in life. Here are the things. So the first thing you want to think about is how to make your calendar work with you. So today I spent some time with a great client, and we, instead of starting with the project management and carryover from the previous calendar year, we looked at our calendar and looked at different ways we could revise it, change it up, upgrade it to fit what you want to do in 2020. And we didn't do major tweaks, but we looked at some gaps in scheduling, some of the systems she had in place, and looked at different ways we could reformulate those. So if you're trying to make your calendar work for you, one thing you want to do is look at your overall day, like if you use a planner, if you use Google Calendar as an example, or some other kind of electronic piece, or if you're using some type of paper planner. I love paper planners. Each day you want to take one thing off your schedule that does not affect your health, your paycheck, or an important relationship. So each day this month, you want to take one thing off your calendar, off your schedule that does not affect your health, your paycheck, or an important relationship. Oftentimes, we are so eager to get things done. We want to be on the right track. We want to be really focusing our goals and hitting them hard that we put too many things onto the calendar. We have these strong action items, but we forget that we're gonna have some complementary action items that go with the action items. Let's say one action item is to start researching venues for a retreat. Well, in addition to that, you have to figure out the RFP, you have to figure out the cost, you have to figure out these things. And if we really take one thing off our schedule, we can make more time for the action item and then all the complementary things that go with it. So take one thing off your schedule that does not affect your health, paycheck, or an important relationship so you can spend more time on your goals. You should cut out one of your television binging viewing things, at least 30 minutes of that. You want to find some more time, just cut out 30 minutes of watching television. You can cut out 30 minutes of listening to a podcast if that's something that you do instead of television. And then you want to use that 30 minutes and use that time you've cut off that one thing from your schedule to work specifically, exclusively on your goals. And you want to write that into your calendar. You want to block that time. You want to protect that time. You want to make sure that that time has solid boundaries around it so that you actually have time to work on your goals. We want to work on these things. We have to set the right boundaries and the time and schedule around it. So make your calendar work for you. The second thing you want to do is go to bed at least 10 to 15 minutes earlier each night, and then wake up that much earlier the next day. So go to bed 10 minutes earlier, wake up 10 minutes earlier the next day. It's super important, as they say in the health and wellness, for us to get the right amount of sleep, that it affects our health, it affects our energy, affects our focus, our ability to drill down and really get to the details of what we're trying to do. But the other piece you want to do is make sure that you are giving yourself the right body fuel and mind fuel to have the stamina to try something new if it's related to your goals, to take the risk if something's related to your goals, to continually show up and put yourself out there. So you have to have the right amount of mind fuel, body fuel, and energy to do those things. So it's super, super important that you don't burn the candle at both ends because you need your energy, you need your rest to do it. I am guilty because I am a night owl, and when I'm done with all my stuff and my family is finally asleep, I do get this second wave of energy and I want to keep working and I want to keep going. But that might be a preferred thing to do because I'm a night owl, but that doesn't really fit my life schedule. So I always have to monitor that extra burst of energy, write those things down, those action items and the complementary action items in my journal so that I can pick them up when I'm up earlier in the morning, when I have my quiet time at 6 a.m., when my family doesn't need me at that time, and I can start the day really refreshed, energized, and really ready to be productive and work hard on those goals. So try to get more sleep. The third thing is to be very specific and ask for particular, specific, goal-oriented help or guidance. How are you going to know what type of help that you need? I always tell people to look at somebody who's doing what you want to be doing, and not in a way that's competitive. Like, look at them, observe them. What are they doing that you want to be doing? How do you feel that they're going about it? How does it seem to be working out for them? And then if you know that person, or if you can get connected with that person, ask them. Reach out to them for some guidance and ask them how they're doing what they're doing and how they're going about it, or what were their initial steps to get going and what did that look like for them. A lot of times we feel like people are doing what we want to be doing and we'll never get to that level, but we have no idea what they did or what it took to get to that level. So just ask the question. Don't, spend your time trying to figure it out all on your own, or feeling badly that you can't do it the way they're doing or at that same level. Just ask for help, get the question, and if they give you 1 tip, 2 tips, whatever it is, take that information and move to the next help stage and ask for additional help, or get the right resources, read the right books, go to the right workshops, work with a coach, take a class or something like that. So be clear and ask for help. Reach out to those people, ask them the initial steps. I usually try to ask for 3 to 5 initial steps of how they got started on a project, or how they got started in putting themselves out there in a particular way, getting their books published, getting what I'm trying to say. Getting a media opportunity, whether it was like radio, podcast, television. Ask them what their initial steps were, and then, see how that works for you. And if you need additional help, then you figure out that in between time. Get creative, get your team around you, your bold entourage, as I mentioned. And these are not always people that are like paid coaches or anything like that. It could be, your cousin, your sister, somebody who really supports you, a mentor, or, some type of other resource that you can find for guidance and help. And then schedule time, maybe that 30 minutes, to move in that direction. So use that time for you. So that was the third tip. The fourth tip is just get comfortable to saying no to different things. A lot of times when people are ambitious, they're bold thinkers, they're go-getters, we say yes to a lot of things. And those things are good opportunities, but they might not be aligned with our goals, what we're trying to do. So they're not the best opportunity. They're a good opportunity, but they're not the best opportunity. So when we say no to something that's not serving us, that is clogging up our time and getting in the way of energy, space, creativity that we could be using for our own goals and moving forward to that. So when you say no to something that may be a good opportunity or may not be a good opportunity and doesn't fit your schedule, that allows you to say yes to something for yourself, something for your schedule, something for moving forward with your goal mapping, your resolutions and things, resolutions and things you want to take care of. So get comfortable with saying no, get comfortable with saying no without making excuses, without feeling guilty, without feeling bad about it. And don't over explain yourself. If saying no to something is like, it's a no right now because I'm focused on my goals, and could you possibly help me? That's a whole different category. If you're going to use that no opportunity to open up a different connection for yourself, or a different opportunity that is aligned with the goals, I definitely say go for that. So be really clear about that. So again, these are the 4 tips I think you should use or try out. And you don't have to use all 4 of them. Use the one that's most important to you or that fits your life right now. But these are 4 ways to realistically carve out time in your schedule to focus on your goals. Make your calendar work for you. Go to bed a little bit earlier and wake up that much earlier the next day. Ask and do that consistently, not just one day, but do that consistently. Ask for help and guidance. Somebody's doing something you want to do. Ask them how they did it. Just ask. And then the 4th thing is to get comfortable with saying no. So those are some of the things I'll be talking to the participants at the vision board workshops about, and we'll really be spending time at drilling down to what the priorities are for themselves in 2020, and then what we can do in the middle part of January as the rough draft month, and to really hit it hard in February as the start of 2020. So a couple of questions I had that I thought would feed into these tips that came from the survey for Wednesday Club. Somebody asked me, Kanesha, thank you so much for posting all the information about how to carve your vision. I've been following along and trying to do all the tips. I have a hard time prioritizing what's super important for the calendar year. Do you have any guidance on how I can pare down all the things I want to do, because I want to do it all? I totally get that. I want to do it all too. But we have to be realistic about what we can do, and if it's the right time in our lives, if it's the right season, if we, um, you know, think that we can get it done in that particular time frame, or do we need to extend it? One of the things I always tell my clients when they are trying to think about something big they want to do or something important they want to do is, how will they feel about it in a year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now? And so let them do some exploration from that. So how will you feel about that a year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now? If it seems super urgent and important, and it fits what you feel like you want your life to be like a year from now, 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, then I say, cut away all the other unimportant things and focus on that one thing. If your list is so big, so extensive, and everything looks super exciting to you and things are different priorities, then I say try to break those things down based on the quarters in the calendar year. So we have 4 quarters within the calendar year, and try to see how they would fit into the different quarters. Maybe they're based on season, maybe they're based on when your kids are in school, maybe they're based on when you're in school or how your work schedule works, and map them that way to get an idea to see if you can move things around and where they would fit best in the calendar year, and then what could move to the next calendar year. So that's another way to do some prioritization if your list is really hefty and exciting and huge and you're having a hard time deciding. And then the other thing I would say is to, talk to the people around you. I posted a few days ago about asking people what they come to you for, what do they see your gifts and strengths being, and when you're doing your best work, what it looks like. Lean on those people to give you an external assessment of who you are and where they see you shining and where they see you growing, and then see where those priorities are on that list and which map to that information, that data that those trusted peoples, whether it's a friend, a loved one, a work colleague, or someone you've known for a long time in a various capacity who's seen you work in different ways, talk to them and then see how that maps to that information, just so that you can have another lens, another perspective on what your priorities to be. And the other piece is, if you really cannot get any clarity on what the priorities should be, then write all the information up, cut it out into different strips, 1 priority per strip, put them in a bowl, and then pick one out and just work from there. If they are all equal priorities, then just randomly select one, which could be really fun and exciting because it's like an adventure in your own goal setting. So I would encourage that. All right. So those are the tips for today. Oh my gosh, my hair is doing this crazy thing. I don't even know what to say about that. So the next few episodes, I'm going to be talking about goal setting, productivity, and of course, giving a recap of the vision board workshop, so you can get a sense about that. If you are not able to attend any of these vision board activities, or don't have access to a vision board activity, I definitely encourage you to do one on your own. They're super fun, super fulfilling. I have some tools on my website that you can check out. I also have my Focus on What Matters guided journal, which is a great vision board tool. It's like a project guided journal, and then you have space to do monthly vision boards within that. Super fun. And I actually shipped like 5 of those yesterday. People have been ordering them, so I'm so excited. So thank you. And then the other thing is, I do have the Thrive 75 goal mapping toolkit, and that's based on quarterly planning. And that's an electronic tool that you purchase, and then you can download it. You can incorporate it with your journaling system that you're already using. You can create your own customized journal with it, or your own customized planner with it. And it has a lot of concrete tools about goal setting and goal mapping. So I'll have the links to both of those tools in the video notes. And of course, you can ask me any questions. Next week, We're going to do Wednesday Club on Thursday. I know it's Wednesday Club, but sometimes my weeks change because I have 2 big events on Wednesday, and I don't want to be rushed into a Wednesday Club because it's really important to me. So next week, we're going to have Wednesday Club on Thursday, and I will be talking about how to get clear on your goals, because a lot of times people will say, well, I have these goals, but I don't have clarity around it. But I'll be talking about the steps on how to get clear on your goals next week. So definitely tune in for that, or watch the rebroadcast. And then after that week, I will be also talking about more productivity strategies to help you have space to complete your goals, to have more time and energy during your regular days, and then to just create the best systems that support you in all you want to do. So that's what's going on during the month of January for Wednesday Club. Thanks for tuning in today. As always, you can reach me, Kanesha, at boldlivingtoday.com, or you can go to boldlivingtoday.com, send me a message on the contact form, reach out to me on Facebook, Kanesha Baynard Coaching, or on Instagram or Twitter at Kanesha Baynard. Have a good day, everybody. Happy Hump Day. And really, really, really look at focusing on creating the right space on your schedule so that you can work on your goals, feel proud of yourself, amplify your boldness, get creative, and really have a fresh start, strong start, bold start to 2020. All right, see you next week. Thanks.